25 edition of the Jackson Kayak Classic. Everybody here definitely deserves a round of applause. You made it here, so. And, you know, hey, we all know qualification was super tough this year to make it in, right? But, you know, the road here literally is a tough road to get here. A lot of you guys drove, 10, 12 hours and crossed several state lines to make this trip happen. We hope you had an enjoyable time and a good experience with us, and we very much look forward to seeing you guys next year. That being said, I mean, we came out here for a reason, right? We came out here to see who could catch the 10 largest bass over 2 days and take home some plastic and some cash. We've got all that sorted out, I believe, to the best of our abilities. So without further ado, I think we're going to go ahead and kick things off. 2-day totals. I'm going to call up. We're going to start with 10th place. I know it's not a paying position, but a lot of you guys drove a long way, and I think anytime you make a top 10 in a national event where there's 11 people or there's 200 people, we want to make sure you get recognized for that. So after 2 days of tough fishing, especially today, I think everybody can attest today was a little bit tougher. In 10th place from Tennessee, Russ Vandergriff. Russ, if you want to go ahead and come on up real quick. That way we can get you in frame here. Let everybody see your beautiful face. I'll have you hold that with your bad hand. And, Russ, we appreciate you coming out. You had mentioned you started off this tournament with a handicap, if you will.
Yeah.
If you want to tell everybody what happened, anybody you want to thank, we're all ears for you here, bud.
Yeah, I did this Tuesday, so trying to learn to cast left-handed has been an adventure this week. Didn't work out too good, but just thank my wife for letting me do this. Thank Chris Walters. He's the one that got me into this kayak fishing stuff years ago. And I want to thank him or shoot him. I don't know. It's pretty expensive. But
that was a huge fish that broke his wrist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was. Well, I was working in North Carolina slinging a hatchet for 3 days for 8 and 9 hours a day, and so that's what done that. But, yeah, I had a pretty good day yesterday. Today wasn't so good. Struggled, like sounds like most everybody, but just had 3 fish today.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you coming out. Congratulations again. We'll go ahead and do a fist bump. That way I don't twist anything else. All right. Thank you very much, Russ. All right. So in 9th place, having a rough day 1, but having a better day 2, which is rare today, driving all the way from Maryland, Mr. Justin Thompson, 9th place. There he is. Yeah. Yeah, you come all the way from Maryland. You deserve. Hey, we need to stretch your legs. How long of a drive you got?
It's like 10 hours, but we ended up in some traffic and it'd be more like 12.
Yeah. Well, rough. I'm sure you're from the Northeast. You know about traffic.
Oh. Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, forget about it. All right, so go ahead and hold that. It doesn't actually amplify anything. It's just for the folks at home that get to watch a little bit later. But, yeah, tell us a little bit about your experience. Anybody you want to thank?
Day 1 was rough. I started out the morning blowing out my buzzbait reel and trying to come back from that, and that was the bite I was on. But then today was also kind of rough. Between 6 and 7, I had a limit on buzzbait because I fixed it overnight. And I didn't catch anything from 7 o'clock till tournament was over. It was a long, very hot morning. Just thank my wife for letting me actually leave her at home with 2 little kids. And she's actually at Chuck E. Cheese right now at a birthday party, and I'm not there. So I'm going to count that a win.
That is a double win.
Yes, absolutely.
They do serve beer at most Chuck E. Cheese's, but not enough.
Not enough.
Not enough. All right, brother. Hey, we appreciate you coming out. We look forward to seeing you some more. All right, thank you. All right. In 8th place, also from the great state of Maryland, with a little slip today, having a pretty decent day on day 1, little tougher day 2. Mark Nelson. Mark Nelson. I love how you come up here every time, though. It's so cute. All right, Mark, just tell the folks at home, we all know you're from Maryland.
Yep.
Are you a Ravens fan?
Yes.
Yeah. So how's the fishing? Tell us all about it and anybody you want to thank.
Yeah, so fishing at Nickajack is really good. Pre-fishing, I landed a 20-inch and was feeling pretty good about the spot that I fished both days. Didn't run into any big fish except on day 1. I caught an 18-inch like in the last hour, flipping outside grass lines when it got super hot. And yeah, that was my best fish on both days. Today was a little bit tougher. Topwater wasn't really working for me today. I threw a buzzbait a lot in the morning. Switched over to a frog. I did get 2. Had a really cool blow up today. I skipped underneath this tree. 15-inch bass jumped up, landed over a tree limb. I had all my rods up. I had to like finagle him. Somehow he stayed on.
Wow.
Yeah, it was super crazy.
Stuff like that usually only happens in practice and nobody's watching and you're like, you ain't gonna believe what happened.
Yeah, it was a ton of fun. Had a good time.
Well, awesome. Well, it delivered you a top 10, so good on that. Have a safe trip back home and we look forward to seeing you again next year, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, brother. Have a good one. All right, moving on. Rolling like Limp Biscuit. Not Smoky Biscuit. All right, 7th place. Now, all right. This angler had a phenomenal day 1. Slipped up a bit on day 2. But last night, gave his life to Jesus Christ. I'm going to get a little emotional. We all get those phone calls that you don't want to get in life. And this was a phone call at 11:21. I'll never forget. You know, sometimes you just have one of those come to Jesus moments, right? And this young man who I've known for years has kind of touched the fire, as we talked about a little bit, but you don't know the fire's hot unless you touch it. And sometimes it takes getting burned a couple times before you learn your lesson. And this gentleman, he learned that lesson. He gave his life to Christ. And we were both a little moist because he was baptized about 30 minutes ago in the hydrilla-filled waters of Lake Nickajack. He's my brother in Christ and one of my great friends. His name is Marcus Grubbs. Come on up.
Hello, Marcus.
Thank you. Love you, buddy.
I love you. Here's this.
Thank you.
Now, Marcus, you're a 2-time offender bridesmaid.
Yeah. Yeah, I made sure not to do it this time.
You did a great job at that.
Thank you.
Little struggle today.
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about your day. You had a great day 1.
Oh, yesterday was awesome. But I think it was too awesome. I beat the crap out of those fish, and they didn't want to bite today.
Yeah.
That's all I had, and I tried real hard. I had the bites. I had a few blow-ups on a frog that would have made a limit, but I only had 3 bites on a wacky rig, and that's what I caught them all on yesterday. So
Yeah.
I tried. I had some issues too with my boat, and I had to steer with my paddle and motor.
Yeah.
It was rough in the wind, and
So you
all
had
that,
to
so.
you had to go full on old school. You had a paddle. You had no motor.
paddle, pedal, motor power. My back hurts, boys. It really does.
Well,
It was fun.
you had a good time.
It was
You
working out.
didn't three-peat as a bridesmaid. I know that's a tough pill to swallow.
It is.
You gained eternity this week.
Right.
And in my opinion, and probably the opinion of everybody here, welcome to the family, and probably the biggest win we'll see this weekend.
Right.
So congratulations.
I had to win something.
Oh, you won, baby. Love you.
Thank you, guys.
All right, Marcus Grubbs, everybody. All right. consistency pays for this next angler. Sixth place is going to go to a guy that only was about 2.5 inches off from day 1 to day 2. A slight slip in the standings today, but sixth place, not too shabby. From Maryland, what is going on up there? Nicholas Mazza. There's something in the water. They know how to fish in tournament. How do you say tournament? Tournament. They know how to fish in tournaments. We can just call it derbies. Derbies.
Okay. Yeah,
we call it derbies.
Derbies is
all right, brother. Well, hey, sixth place finish, just a little bit out of a top 5.
Yeah.
It was really close to making that top 5.
Yeah, it was way tough today. I did get 5, but it was a struggle, and I got off the water early because I got irritated.
Yeah.
But once I had the 5, I was happy.
Absolutely. Yeah. Getting that 5 fish limit really takes
Yeah, it's hot out
load
there.
off.
There's no wind. I was fishing deeper water. I know everybody's probably in the pads. I was on the humps, just fishing humps for 2 days in basically one spot.
Absolutely. Hey,
Yeah,
man, that's
it's
probably
been
where I'd
so
be.
fun though. Like this lake is great.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
well,
we
that's
caught
good.
fish all week. So
Excellent. Anybody you want to thank?
I'll thank my family, my wife, and my kids for letting me get out of the house for a while.
Heck yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's awesome. Well, we look forward to seeing you more next year.
Absolutely.
And have a safe trip home, man.
Thanks, brother.
All right, brother.
Have a good
Thank
one.
you. All right. All right. So we're down to 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, the math is right. 5. We are still mathing. I am going to call up each of these anglers here in no particular order. If you wouldn't mind joining me on our makeshift stage Jackson backdrop here. From Tennessee, Chris Franklin. Chris Franklin. What's that?
You forgot to say how tall it was.
Yeah, we need the Chicago Bulls anthem going in the background. And because I feel really bad, Chris Walters, also from Tennessee, go ahead and come up here. I seen you move a little bit, and that's when I really had to put an exclamation point on it. Chris Walters, your 2024 Classic Champion. Looking to add a different Jackson to the fleet?
I may buy one from Jordan.
Let's see who. From New York. All the way from New York. New York, Mark Chase. Mark Chase. Concrete City, where dreams are made of. Oh, you're upstate. Yeah, that's the real New York, where you got to wash your boat before you put it in the lake. Yeah, we know those kind. The good part of New York, kind of like the rest of Illinois. Sorry if that offends anybody. And from Tennessee, he was just mentioned, Jordan Marshall. Come on down. Jordan Marshall was your day 1 leader if you tuned into the 20X. See how I did that, you New Yorkers? Leaderboard. You would saw he laid 98 inches of Tennessee Nickajack bass on the 20X leaderboard. And that leaves 1 spot. Okay. Well, you know, Nicole and I, we haven't always lived in Tennessee. We came from the great state of Indiana. David Elsey, come on down. You're up. You are our last top 5 contestant. All right. So we got Indiana, 3 Tennessee, and a New York. We're going to start here with David. Yeah, sun's out, guns out. Look at you. Look at, I'm going to go stand next to, in between the Chris's here. I'm going to, hang on. How you doing? All right, just tell us a little bit about your weekend, who you want to thank, What went good, what went bad?
Yeah.
And just stand a smooch to your right. There you go. Perfect. And actually, you know what? Everybody, go ahead and come this way to the left. You got him? All right.
All right, so I'm David Alicia from Indiana, and instead of talking about me, I want to talk about you guys and how you guys put all this stuff together, and thank you so very much for doing that. Should we have a round of applause for Jackson Kayak? We're just out here doing it for fun, and you guys are doing it for, you know,
Free.
Yeah. Yeah, so thanks for doing that. We really appreciate it, and I'm going to pass it off to the next guy.
Absolutely. Perfect.
Well, I've been here since Sunday. Just every day, just kept building up on what we were doing. And yesterday was pretty decent. I was pretty happy with what I got. And today I just built on more, and a little better day today, and a little hot. But we managed drinking a lot of water, and thanks for all you do for us, so we can be out there on the water. And thank my family, my daughters, my girlfriend for being away all the time fishing and let me do what I love to do.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you for being here. Thank you so much.
Chris Walters, and I live pretty close to here. I'd like to thank USA Bassin and Jackson Kayak for putting this trail on. This is a big deal, and all these prizes and everything's. It's a big payout for kayak fishing. And are we talking about our fishing, or we say?
Oh yeah, man. The show's yours. This is it's your show, man.
Yesterday morning, I got on a good school of fish early on an underspin, and then I punched and frogged and did everything I could do to upgrade, and I never did. And then today I started out on those early fish, and at 8:30 I had 0, loaded up, moved ramps, scrambled around, caught 2 small fish, was crossing the Tennessee River, looked over, saw Jordan Marshall, just peeled in right behind him, and ended up filling out my limit behind Jordan Marshall. Smart man. Caught fish on an underspin, a frog, and a lizard.
Chris Franklin, not as close as Chris, a couple hours away from here in Tennessee. I want to thank Jason and Jackson Kayak and USA Bassin for putting this on. This is my first year fishing the tournament, so it's cool to be able to make the Classic and be up here with all these great fishermen in the top 5. That's pretty cool. So yesterday, pretty much both days, I just followed Marcus. Pretty much, we were fishing the same area, and I got on a frog bite first day. I missed the first 7. Had 7 blow-ups, missed all of them. Wasn't feeling too good about myself at that point. But then landed the first one, and the next one, and 4 of my 5 fish limit was frog. The other one was on the caffeine shad. Thought the day was going to be the same. Went out. First hour and a half, nothing. I'm like, oh Lord, this is not good. Again, following Marcus, and came up on a kind of tree with some grass around it. Frog. Got 3 of them, 16, 17, 18 inchers, right in a row, and then just fought through the day. Found another spot I hadn't fished yet. That caffeine shad was the bait, not the frog. So pretty much those 2 baits were it one time. So got a little bit better today than did yesterday. So that was nice.
Okay, hey, can't ask for much more than that.
No, knew I couldn't keep up with this man though.
Yeah.
I'm Jordan Marshall. I'm also from Tennessee, originally from Maryville, now living in Friendsville. I just got married literally like right up the road on just overlooking the lake, and want to shout out my wife first and foremost. And the last time I was on this lake before this week, I had like 94 inches on 5 in the team event that was here. So I was kind of looking forward to this, and then I came down Monday after I got off work and poked around for about 2 or 3 hours and caught 2 14-inch fish doing something similar, and really didn't know what I was going to do. And I kind of rolled the dice yesterday morning, and my first fish was a 22 3/4, and I was like, I made the right decision. Probably 10 more casts, caught a 19, and shortly after that caught another 19, and Caught a couple 13s and was like, all right, I'm going to leave this alone, and culled up to 96 on my way back to the boat ramp as I was leaving those fish, and was like thinking this was one of the craziest days I've definitely had on Nickajack, one of the craziest events I've had, period. And loaded up and tried to find a plan B in case plan A didn't work, and came right over here to a grass mat and culled up to 98 yesterday, and then caught a 17 3/4 or something like that, and it didn't help, and I realized I should probably quit fishing. And so this morning I literally had like 2 13s and a 14 on my spot A where I had all the fish yesterday, the big ones. My first fish this morning was like 8 inches, and I realized I better figure something out. Well, luckily I didn't quit fishing yesterday and came down here to plan B and caught a fish while talking to Chris that got me my limit, and went in the mat and punched up some fish to, save my day. So it was a good day, not as good as yesterday, but just a fun event. Thank you guys for running. It's a great event. It's very, very fun. You guys do a great job. And shout out to McKee Outdoors. For anybody coming to the state championship next weekend, or like the next 3 weekends, there's 2 Tennessee state championships. Swing by McKee Outdoors. He's got everything you need.
Absolutely. I will do that. I will see you in the next few weekends. All right. Well, you said something earlier, right? You were talking about the giant bass. So let's go ahead and give away our first piece of hardware. I don't think it's any secret that there weren't a plethora of large bass coming across the Tourney X leaderboard. And when we turn it back on, if you didn't get a good look at it this morning when it popped up, or yesterday, Mr. Marshall, his first fish of the day, 22 3/4. And it had shoulders on it. I mean, we saw some fish, some good kayak fish, 18 inches. You could see the board on both sides. This was not one of those. So, Mr. Big Bass, you're going to take this home, and $230 cash.
Thanks, sir.
Absolutely. All right. We'll get rolling here in 5th place. Probably one of the better days, I believe, that I've seen this young man have on the water. Definitely struggled a little bit more today, but the way things were shaking out on the leaderboard for a while, we thought there was a lot of chances, and there was some shifting up and down, but just couldn't get the big bites to move further up. But from Indiana, David, LSC. Is it LSC or LC?
Alicia.
Alicia. Okay, David, Alicia. Congratulations on a 5th place finish. You were very kind in, thanking us. Just go ahead and thank a couple people that you might want to real quick, and give them a quick shout out.
Right off the bat, of course, Rachel Painter, who is also the only female in this tournament as well too. She had a tough day yesterday and a better day today, but she just kept going just like she always does. So thank you to her, because she also helps with the planning as well too to make this stuff happen. So it's very helpful having a partner in crime. So
absolutely,
thank you so much. And yeah, I had also a PB myself this week too here at Nickajack as well. So how many of you guys had a PB while you were here, like an entire day? Oh, you've done better than 98? Jeez. Well done. But no, it's a great day for me. Nickajack lived up to it, and
heck yeah,
had some monsters on the end of the line, and that feels great, and especially when you travel far to do it.
Yes.
It was a great time.
Absolutely, man. Hey, congratulations. So that's your PB limit in a tournament?
For, yeah.
Heck
absolutely.
yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yes.
All
Thank
right.
you very much.
David LSC, everybody. LSC. All right. And then there were 4. This angler definitely slipped a little bit today. Had a very strong limit and was in a tight group. A lot of the fish came across later on the leaderboard, but when they started funneling in, there were already some changes, so he kind of settled in a 4th place position. Still a great finish. Last year he cashed a lot of money and took home a boat right down the street. From Tennessee, 4th place, Chris Walters. Chris Walters. Anything else you want to add, brother?
I just want to thank you and the directors for all your work and all the marketing and everything that you guys put into this. And it was a fun time.
Awesome. Well, we love having you here. You're a great guy, a stand-up person, and we can't wait to see you again next year, man, for sure. All right. Now, this is where things got really, interesting. Like Jordan alluded to earlier, it's like, oh my gosh, Jordan Marshall, geez. And yeah, he's got gray hair. I mean, come on, I'm a little jealous. But in fishing, in a 2-day tournament, as a lot of you guys know that, fish multiple national events or travel out, 2-day tournaments are completely different from a 1-day event. You can be a winner on day 1 and a loser on day 2 real quick. They always say, you can't win it on day 1, but you can definitely lose it. These 3 gentlemen did not lose it on day number 1. In 3rd place, this gentleman actually was in the lead today for a bit of a time, fell out of the lead, and came back into the lead. But at the end of the day, it wasn't quite enough. And I thought for a while that I was looking at, what he thought he was looking for a win. I got to interview you, Chris, and you were pretty much real close to what you estimated you would need to win this event. You just underestimated the guys to your left and right a little bit, which is okay. You did a great job. You had a great event. And 3rd place is nothing to shake a stick at. I've already forgot what that we figured out the cash part, but you can't leave because you're going to have to sign off on some tax paperwork. We got a check here for you. But is there anything else you want to add before you take off and take this money and run?
Well, in the interview, I did mention the man to my right as that potential of being in that number that was needed. But I just want to say, again, thank you to both Jackson and to USA Bassin. But I want to shout out to my boys. I've got 3 boys. 2 of them still live at home. One's got his own plumbing job, and he started fishing with me this year. And he was hoping he was going to make it here, and got too busy and couldn't make it. But he is. He came right out, and he's been smoking my butt all season. Which is good to see. I love seeing it, but we've been doing a lot of tournaments together, so I was really hoping he was going to make it here with me, but he couldn't make it. But he's been real supportive of me in my fishing. My other 2 boys, very supportive of me as well, so I really appreciate them being there for me. And so yeah.
Awesome. Well, we got you a check and a little piece of hardware here for you. All right. All right, Chris Franklin, 3rd place, everybody. Two anglers, 2 wall.
Oh, you changed that.
All right, so we've got 2 anglers left. Now this part, we were talking about how Chris kind of jumped in there and jumped out, jumped in, jumped out. Marshall, we'll start with you. You had a slow, painfully slow day. And as an avid angler, well, that's rude. I'm so sorry. My bad. That was strictly unprofessional. Back to what I was saying. I'm an avid angler. Right. So I fish a lot of events, and I know that 2 or 3 day grind where you're like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And Chad and I were talking, and trying to figure out what that mindset is going in to day number 2. When you've got a lead, you know you had a good bag. Do you go in thinking, oh my gosh, this is what's going on? And I'm thinking as an angler, uh-oh, the wheels done fell off the bus. Because I'm looking at the Tourney X leaderboard, and Jordan is not a sandbagger, and I think almost every case that I've ever fished with him. And there wasn't anything coming across that was impressive, if at all. And then, you know, we switch over to Mark, who was, I think, legitimately the polar opposite. I'm looking back in my memory bank in my head, and it was hard to keep up for a while. How many fish did you submit today? Do you remember? Well, let's just take a leak.
I know I called some, but I don't remember.
Oh, let's go. We're gonna go. We're gonna get the factuals on it right quick. You did a 5-fish limit.
Yep.
Just to make sure you're aware. And you had 6 calls. Okay, so that's impressive. And to be calling out, you know, the size, the caliber of fish you were doing, kind of took me back. We had a Bass Nation event over on Gunnersville, and a young man by the name of Daniel Lyons was calling out 20s. I just throwing 20s back. And he said it just like that. It was wild. And I'm looking, and I was judging fish. There you are, top of the leaderboard. And you stayed at the top of the leaderboard. Until Jordan Marshall did a midday move. Jordan Marshall's midday move brought him back to the top. And I'm like, uh-oh, it's super close. Well, one of these calls that you had throughout the day, there you go. So now we got a dirt. It wasn't a runaway. Jordan had a almost 9-inch lead going into day 2. You caught a sack today. You had a day. Was it enough?
I don't know.
It was the best day.
I still feel like
It was the biggest bag of the day.
Was it?
It was. It was the biggest bag of the day. But Jordan called out everything he had and was able to sneak it away. Jordan Marshall is going to be your champion. Second place, let's give him a real quick round of applause. Mark Chase. Mark, you made it as a fan of fishing, and I consider what we do a sport because, you know, we're men, we're out here in plastic doing things. You got me pretty excited. These guys will attest to it. I get fired up. It stinks that we're not out there fishing, but I get really into judging fish. I get excited. I'm just waiting. And you made it very exciting. You made it very exciting.
Getting on them.
I thought it was going to be a thing. And to have somebody, you know, unseat him in that fashion, no offense, I mean, it would have been epic. It's kind of what makes this a cool deal. In the end, you fell just a little bit short, but you're still going to end up with a phenomenal payday. Runner-up, you get, you know, the Marcus Grubbs Award for this one. You're going to be the bridesmaid.
Must be something more.
But, you know, you're going to walk away with some cash. You get a cool plaque to put on, you know, your podcast wall. Is there anything else you want to say or anybody else you want to thank that maybe you didn't get a chance to earlier?
Just thank you guys for what you do for us, and my friends and family for all the support, and my girlfriend for letting me be away for so long at times. And it's just a great day. And first time here at this lake, and I like it. You know?
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. You can't ask for much more. Let's give him another round of applause. Second place. Let me get your picture with this. Excuse me, Jordan. I don't really have a good side. Hey, thank you. Congrats.
Thank you.
All right. Come on, you long-haired hippie. Get over here. All right. All right. So 2025, the Classic goes to Jordan Marshall. Chris Franklin alluded to it earlier that in a pre-tournament interview before day one, he's definitely made the comment that there's people like you, whatever that's supposed to mean. So what makes a person like you the way you are? I'm curious to know, the world wants to know. We haven't heard it in a while. It should be patented, the midday move, the Marshall midday move. It's a thing.
It's a thing.
What makes you pull the trigger? And how do you constantly do it? If you can give us as much juice as you want or as little as you want, but hey, this is the USA Bassin Jackson Kayak Series, and we're all about teaching folks new things. So anything you got to give them or me, let us know. We're all ears.
So I grew up fishing out of a bass boat. So you didn't stay in one place very long. You kind of ran around and fished, especially on like the lakes I grew up fishing was Loudon and Tellico. They're not any good. So you ran around and fished different places all day. So I just kind of got used to moving midday if I needed to move midday when I started kayak fishing. And, I've been kayak fishing since everybody showed up at one ramp and put some cash in a hat and everybody launched from one place. So I've kind of seen the evolution of things. And I remember when, some events had like, oh, you could fish 3 boat ramps today, on one lake. And it was like, I'd go fish here. Oh, there's too many people. I'd just drive somewhere else. So I guess it's kind of one of those things as kayak fishing evolved. I kind of evolved with it to, be fine with midday moves. And I've always tried to keep stuff, everybody knows. I guess one of the other things that with the Marshall midday move is I don't ever take my motor off the kayak. It just rides around all the time. So people give me a hard time, but I hate hooking them things up and taking it back apart. So they just ride around back there. So that's just trying to make it as easy as possible to load and unload and try to do that. But as far as the fishing stuff goes, 6 of my fish, I think I mentioned that earlier, 6 of my 10 fish came punching. I've never punched in a tournament before, ever. I've done a very poor job of trying to figure out how to do it and other just fun fishing and stuff. And I was reading some stuff. Guides post down here on Facebook all the time that they're frogging and whatever else. And it seemed like Chick and Nickajack, they're both talking about punching. So I watched a bunch of YouTube videos on punching, and I hate watching YouTube videos. And I went and punched. It kind of clicked in my head when I was watching a video and some guy's like, yeah, you just, make a bunch of casts, drop it in there and keep going. And I was like, well, I can make more casts than everybody else. I'm good at that, running and gunning and fishing the river at the house where you're constantly going. So I learned how to punch this week. So that's the big difference. So I'm just trying to keep learning. So.
Well, that's awesome. And your experience running and gunning and, to changing boat ramps will probably come in handy here in a few minutes, because obviously our Jackson Kayak Classic winner is going to take home a brand new Jackson Kayak NAR. You've got some cash, you got some plaques. You entered in the TOC, and you asked me, well, how do I get into that? Well, it's the last event of the season, Jordan. You got to win. I guess I'll go ahead and do that. And he did. He won our last event on Lake Chickamauga to qualify him for the TOC. So a little bit more plastic you're going to have to hang out with. This is a Jackson Coosa X that you'll also be taking home. And I'm not real good at math, folks, but the $150 he has invested today will be well returned, I think. So
my wife is very excited about the Coosa X. She texted me about 1 o'clock yesterday and said, can I have the blue kayak? And I was like, I appreciate your confidence in me by all means, but it may not have been 1 o'clock, but it was pretty early in the afternoon. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
no
I was
pressure,
like,
but I didn't want that.
I was like, yeah, all right. Let me do my best to win that kayak for you, babe.
So we need to thank the wife for you beating the brakes off of everybody today. Her motivation. Yeah. Hey, a woman's words can build up a man like nothing else they can tear down.
I tend to spin out historically in tournaments, so shout out to her. She's helped a lot with keeping me a little more level-headed than I typically have been in years past.
Yeah.
The Marcus thing, that That is awesome, man. There's no tournament that you will ever fish that first place is as valuable as your decision. So,
amen. Amen.
That's awesome.
I appreciate that, man.
So,
so one more time, let's give it up for your classic champion, Jordan Marshall. And we'll get some pictures. All right. That concludes the weigh-in ceremony. If top 3, you definitely got to fill out some paperwork for taxes. The top 5, did we get pictures of the top 5 with everybody up here? Top 5, come on up to grab a couple photos. And anybody that wants to get